Hello, welcome to class. Today we'll be considering Module 2, which is titled Livestock Biology and Production Principles. We'll be considering the basic animal anatomy and physiology, also nutritional needs and feed types, breeding and reproduction, growth stages and production cycles, behavioral characteristics of major livestock, and lastly, animal selection, which involves breed characteristics, productive traits, and adaptability. Why do we study animal biology? It is a foundation for informed management decisions in livestock farming. Animal biology also helps optimize growth, production, and health. It helps prevent disease through early recognition of abnormalities. It also enhances animal welfare and productivity. So the key area considered in the module involves animal anatomy and physiology, nutrition and feed types, breeding and reproduction, growth stages and production cycles, animal behavior and selection. So we'll move to the basic anatomy and physiology. The body system of animals, majorly the livestock animals. Number one is the digestive system. Digestive system is a means in which food is being converted to meet up with the nutrient requirements of the body and to nourish the body system. We have monogastric animals. These animals' stomachs adapted for digestion. They have just one single stomach. Example of such livestock are poultry and pigs. There's also ruminant animals. These ruminant animals has a 4-compartment stomach that is adapted for digestion. The examples are cattle and goats. So we also have the fish. They also have the fish has a different digestive system, which is adapted for aquatic diet. So there are different composition in each animal based on the needs of such animal and the type of digestive system present in them. Also, the respiratory system. Mostly there is presence of lungs for mammals, that is, animals that breastfeed their young ones. However, for poultry, there is presence of air sac for respiration, while for fish, there is presence of gills for respiration. The circulatory system deals with how blood moves around the body of the animal, and blood helps to transport nutrients, oxygen, and hormones right away from the for each of the animals. So each animal has a circulatory system that is suitable for them. For the reproductive system, these are the means of reproduction. We have the male and the female animals, just as for humans. So, and it is essential for breeding programs and productivity. So, there's need to study it. You can check the manual for better explanation of each of these systems. Also, there is a skeletal and muscular system. This deals with the structure, the movement, and production of animals, how muscular they are, and how they get their support. And lastly, there's the integumentary system. This deals with the skin of the animal. For the poultry, we talk about the feathers, the hairs, and also scales for fish. and it helps to tell about how healthy the animal is. Move to nutritional needs and feed type. The 6 essential nutrients needed for animal growth are mostly same as for humans. Number 1 is protein. Protein is needed for growth, for milk and egg production, and also for immunity. Carbohydrate is needed for primary energy source. As a primary energy source, fats and oils are needed to give energy, and essential fatty acids. Mineral helps in the structure and metabolic activity, and also vitamins is good for metabolic regulation and immunity. Lastly, water. Water is very critical in digestion and in other ways. The feed classification by use for livestock farms and farm animals include starter. This is the beginning phase of the animal. So the feed given to the early or the young animal is called starter feed. And when the animal grows to a certain stage, we give the grower feed. And when the animal gets to maturity, we offer the finisher feed for them. For egg layers, especially the poultry, we give the layer feed for them. We give layer feed, then concentrate for farm animals, the ruminant animal, forage for ruminant animal, and also supplement. Feed formulation and practical feeding. Feed costs about 60 to 70% of the total production cost. It takes about 60 to 70%. The key principle, that means it has to be considered. The key principle in feed formulation is that you match the feed to production stage of the animal, then also ensure protein energy balance. You need to include vitamin, mineral premixes. Then also we provide unlimited clean water for animal. So if all these are considered, they will be effective and less cost feeding. Example is for broiler starter, can give 21 to 23% protein. For layers, 16 to 18% protein, 3 to 3.5% calcium, and other nutrients. Ruminant animals can combine forages with concentrate. So the key point is that you need to understand the type of feed and how to apportion it to each of your animals. Reproduction and breeding system. For poultry, there is sexual maturity. They get to sexual maturity at 18 to 24 weeks. So at this stage, they can lay eggs for layers, and eggs can be laid daily. For ruminants, the cycle for sheep and goats is between 17 to 21 days, and gestation is 150 days. The breeding cycle is between 17 to 21 days. For pigs, the cycle is every 21 days, while gestation is 114 days, and piglet or litter is 8 to 14 in size. They usually produce about 8 to 14 younger ones. Fish can be induced. So induced spawning can be done for catfish for natural reproduction can be allowed, especially for tilapias. And when it comes to breeding system for ruminant or cattle, sheep, goats, and the likes, there are three major aspects of breeding. We have the natural mating, the controlled mating, and the artificial mating. In artificial insemination, the natural mating is very simple and have low control. The animal is allowed to mate with the opposite sex at the required or time and suitable for the animal. However, for the controlled mating, there's a genetics that is being put in place, and it requires record. This is a system that is being monitored. The animal is monitored, programmed, and records have been taken. However, for artificial simulation, this is entails a superior genetics, and animal are being injected in order to reproduce. However, there's disease control in this type of mating. Growth stage and production cycles. For poultry, the growth stage, we have the 0 to 7 weeks. The 0 to 7 days actually. This is the breeding phase of the poultry. Then when it's more than 7 days to up to like 4 weeks is the early stage of growth. And also for more than 4 weeks, that is 5 to 8 weeks, this is the finishing stage of growth of poultry. Then for layers, we have 0 to 8 weeks for the brooders, 9 to 18 weeks, 0 to 8 days for brooders starter, then 9 to 18 weeks for grower, while 19 to 72 days plus is for egg production. Growth stage in ruminant. The birth to weaning period is 0 to 8 months. The growing is 3 to 6 months, while the finishing is 6 to 8 months. For cattle, the calf, that is the young one, is from 0 to 6 months. Once it gets to 6 to 18 months, that is the grower phase of the cattle, and the finishing stage of the cattle is 18 to 36 months. For the pigs, we call the younger ones the farrow piglets. The farrowing period to weaning period is 0 to 4 weeks, while the nursery period is 4 to 8 weeks, and the growing period is 8 to 15 weeks, while the finishing period is 15 to 24 weeks. For catfish, they move from hatchery to nursery to growing and finishing, all in 5 to 6 months. It will have to get to the market. Understanding animal behavior. Behavior indicates health, welfare, and stress level of animal. Behavior also involves better management practices being carried out. So, the key behavior to watch out are the social behavior, This involves pecking order, how the poultry peck. Then for ruminants, the hard hierarchy, that is the uh, the hard hierarchy for ruminants. Then also feeding, continuous feeding for poultry should be watched. Then grazing/browsing for ruminant animal. For pigs, how does the animal root for food? So all this need to be watched. For the reproductive behaviors, you watch out for the heat signs, the courtship behavior, the maternal care, how the animal care for the young growths. These are the key behaviors to watch out for. And also comfort. How does the animal perform dust bathing, wallow, and grooming? So you need to watch out for specific uh, behaviors which are peculiar to each animal. The management tip is that you provide facilities that allow natural behavior to help in monitoring the animal behavior. Animal selection principle. Selection is the foundation of herd or flock management or improvement. When selecting quality animal, you need to look out for the physical traits. You watch out for alertness, good appetite, normal movement, bright eyes, clean nostrils, healthy coat or feathers. Also, you watch out for the breeding characteristics. You have the exotic breeds which has a high production and also need intensive management. Also, there is a indigenous breed which are hardy, adapted for uh, any kind of weather, and however give low input. So you need to check the breeding characteristics. Also, you check the productive traits, the growth rate, the feed conversion, the egg milk yield, the litter size. And lastly, you need to check for adaptability. How is the animal tolerance to heat, to disease? How can it resist disease? And how hardy is the animal? So in selecting animals, we need to watch out for all these selection principles. The practical application and farm benefits. All this knowledge about the animal biology helps in better feeding of the animal. It improves breeding. It gives optimal housing and care by stage. And also it helps in early problem detection through the behavior and physical signs. It also helps in informed animal selection. And if all these are done, high productivity, sustainability, and profitability can be ensured. In conclusion, livestock biology is the science behind the practice. So, mastery of nutrition, reproduction, behavior, and selection leads to successful farming. So, apply all these principles to make a data-driven decision. Thank you for listening.